Hi Earth signs, welcome back. We are here to do your twin flame connected energy, also to show you where potentially the blocks are and what's happening. Now, yes, as we do have the planets going direct, you're going to find that during this Mercury retrograde, things are going to be moving very quickly. And yes, within the ascension energy, you can be picking up on this a lot more. If you do want to come through during the week, we are live every Friday and I connect in with both the astrology, the psychic energy, and give you the tips and tricks to handle the ascension, as well as when potentially union is coming for each zodiac sign. I'm seeing at the moment what the earth signs are going through is almost a little bit of disillusionment, and it has been a little bit hard. So the reason why the hold up with the earth signs has been there, and especially connected to the masculines, was because the South Node was in Sagittarius, but also very separately because we did have a lot of the planets retrograde. Now, between now and the 18th is quite a pivotal point for the joint connection, but also to be deeply prepared, because you can, within your ascension symptoms, actually start feeling some of the frequency. Because there is going to be movement happening with these situations. Now, the masculines of these energies joint, be it you are the earth sign or they are, it still becomes joint energy. So it's important to look at both. They do have black obstinane, as well as this crystal in reverse. And I'm going to read to you what they both mean. So it is about psychic protection, you know, with the black obstinane, it's feeling really within their lives that life is protected. There is a lot of crossness to do with their view of what they wanted to happen versus what was directly happening on the 3D. I pay attention to what is going on around me and within me. I am tentative. And again, because Jupiter was retrograde and Neptune, again, it still is. This was causing a lot of conflict with the forward movement, especially, and on top of it, pretty much since the Lionsgate portal, we have felt like we've been in a wormhole, quite stuck, and we're about to be pushed out of it now. So yes, the aura is feeling very nervous. And again, with Neptune at the moment, it is causing nervousness. So where they're at, what they're doing right now is dealing with the truth matter, the truth serum of what the dream was versus, you know, where life really is. I do feel spiritually they're not feeling as protected, but they're also getting to a point they're wanting to pull their guard down and knowing that nothing really potentially completely protects us. And again, from a spiritual point of view, the green can really be the heart chakra. Being that Mercury is retrograde in a Venus sign, it is higher heart chakra activation. I meditate regularly. I'm insightful. My connection with the universal wisdom guides me daily. There's a lot of anger, potentially even relating to the karmic cycle. Access all information and knowledge available. Remember past lives as needed. Improve clarity during meditation and experience. Stay centered, maintain the quiet mind. It's all these. I do feel psychically, I am seeing that the masculines are going through something very similar this month to what Divine Feminine went through. And it is those psychic attacks, it's the signs and synchronicities, it's the songs popping up, but it's non-stop really hitting their aura at the moment. They're very, very fatigued. They're frustrated at the lack of forward movement, but they're having an eye-opening experience that something has reached an end of a cycle and it's really not the way they thought it was going to end up. I'm also feeling why this has happened is so they could reassess these connections and really have a look at what was important. Now, that may be their workplace. It could be their family. Again, connections point blank zero. Why it had to happen is for them to come back to self, but also to make peace with the past. I do feel in looking at whether they could recoup and whether it was healthy, this is actually helping them knowing what they need to leave behind and what was to stay. But I feel it was to do with inner peace and healing. Currently, I do feel they're thinking about you quite a bit. So what has happened is the clearing of their chakras, really connecting in with the Akashic records, but also wanting to physically move forward. And this is towards you. I do feel they're lowering their guard. I also feel that there's this deep sadness that the dream between the both of you hasn't really turned out the way they thought it was going to. But also within their own dreams and their own power and control that those things hadn't really turned out. I do feel with the ascension, they're feeling very, very exhausted. And why this is happening is to, again, to help them make peace with things. But I do feel they're wanting to connect with you, Divine Feminine. Where are they right now? Okay, foundations really breaking down. This can be changes in tribe, changes in family, changes in the structure of their life. They're not having time at the moment to really look after themselves, but this can be a physical move of residence. But it's also to see the instabilities in their life. Again, the way it's happening in the T section and the road is to help them guide forward. And it's also so they can actually realise that their intuition has always been here, but it needs to be quite purposeful. It's about surrounding ourselves with healthy individuals. It's about trusting our instincts and knowing that it's more to do with the higher process of really integrating and knowing yourself. And I think this is where they're feeling more their intuition is going to serve them correctly. I feel the reason why the crowning energy is intellect in reverse, which again is third eye, was because some of these things didn't quite turn out the way they anticipated, but they actually have learned some lessons. I'm going to pull clarify on what these things are. Okay, what were the circumstances, please? What was the blockage? For some, like I said, it is very much to do with the retrograde cycle of Jupiter. And with the movement forward, it wasn't the intent that they weren't going to move towards you. It prevented the movement moving towards you. Yeah, there you go. It prevented them. Okay, that's all about Jupiter. Okay, they were looking forward, but nothing was moving. It was like they were in this imprisonment. Okay. Why were they removed from the connections, please? And why were they forced into connections? A, to create a new way. To get the energy and spark back in their life, but also to have more to understand what was supposed to stay and what was supposed to go. But to really know inside themselves that in this time of stagnancy was to actually directly recoup. Now I feel through the recuperation, this has brought their faith back, but it's also helped them really question the basis of where their faith was held at. And I do feel some of their faith-based frequencies and their spiritual beliefs were really based on old paradigms over new ones. And I do feel through this conditioning, it's really helped them sit in it and go, okay, regardless of my conditioning, is this really authentic to me? And I feel their intuition has come through to show them that energy of their life is really past and it has really been outdated. Okay, how they're going to do this is by really trusting their instincts, and I do feel this is tying up of old cycles. I do feel for some, there is also potentially an anniversary of a person that have passed over, and it's these situations, and I don't know why this is so relevant at the moment for the Twin Flame Collective. It could be because Pluto was retrograde, but there's almost this feeling of saying goodbye to the old life. Like it's a physical funeral. Yeah, looking at the sadness and allowing the sadness express your joy. Looking at the sadness, but also knowing that there's light within those circumstances. I feel the shadow of that was preventing them from being open with you. It was almost fear of losing you. So the shadow effect was, you know, how can they protect you? How can they be safe? What happens if they were to lose you? So this is helping them to live very purposefully in this one moment, but also to be able to be open to the present moment, not necessarily the 20 years down the track. I really feel at the moment the sacral chakra of empowerment is coming through. And again, I do feel this is going to help them actually create these healthy boundaries. These stress points that have happened in their life are making them look at ways that they can move into that happiness. And for some reason, I really, you know, they're not only giving their power, they're not giving their power away anymore. Trusting in the divine plan, the foundation, and what they're directly going to do is use their power. But it's also in wooing you and showing you what they're really made of. But I feel it's the sacral chakra being upright. I'm seeing this to be in the action setting, very good. We do need to be careful how we do communicate. So those of you who are in communication, my advice would be caution with communication, because this person is going through ascension as well, and you do want to get the best out of it. You know, just be mindful that this person also is healing, and to feel that you don't have to actually rush the situation. I do feel there's some fear, but there is, how do I put it? Some of you are feeling the soul cycles repeating, and that needs to be let go of for physical forward movement. But I do feel directly they're going to have the power to deal with this karmic cycle, but also to come towards you and to offer you their cup of love. We will go into the extension, and I'm going to see what some of these blockages are, and potentially when this is actually going to play out. For some of you, yes, as I mentioned, I am seeing the 18th. Otherwise, I will see you on Fridays at 10 a.m. Love and light. Thanks for joining YILDIZ Readings 5D. If you do want more content like this, number one, we have it regularly. Number two, we're live every Friday, as well as having separate sessions in the Twin Flame Room. 3 additional a month that is private. Come through and get the support you need. Or if you need a booking, you can go to the link directly below, and my website link is there. Love and light. I'll see you for the lives and the super chats on Friday.